Yep, I'm on the case. As many of you know, if you've been around this channel for a small bit, we don't often do product reviews just because that's not really our jam. That's better served with our dear buddy Jeff Fagan. And but we're going to do one today because I think it's important. So one of the things that we destroy is Pelican cases. I mean, we destroy the heck out of them. So this is a long-term review. So this would be part one of that review. We'll see we'll check back in maybe in 3 months, see where we are, and then go from there. But we recently purchased a beautiful, bam! Look at that blue. It's a Nanuk 935 case. Nanuk 935. And we picked it up. It was on sale at B&H. Not to say that you shouldn't check out the sales stuff, but I would check out the sales stuff from time to time. This was $200. And I needed another case for a variety of things. We have multiple camera units. We have multiple shoots happening now, so gear's going in and out all the time. So I had to find something to use, and I just wanted to build it out. I'm also going to talk about, I'm going to do a review here shortly, not yet, but shortly I'll do a review on CRD bags, also some cheaper alternatives to CRD bags, the pros and cons of that. I'll get to that maybe coming up soon. But in this video, we're going to talk about this case. Let's open it up, take a look-see-loo. Now, I will say, I haven't spent a lot of time with this, so we'll see how it goes. The hinges are pretty solid. We'll talk through that here in a second, but let's open it. I couldn't help it. The Marcellus Wallace thing. I mean, that joke. If you're old like me, that joke doesn't get old. If you're young like you probably are, you have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll look inside the case here in a second. By the way, these are MC Pros, and we have the case of those. They all get into a little case and act happy together. They charge, you plug into the wall. We'll do a review of those, a long-term review. We've had them for a bit, and we'll talk about those. But in this instance, we're going to talk about this Nanuk case. I'm going to flip it around 1 second, and I know I'm out of focus, but my focus range is really here, so let me flip it around and we'll talk through. Top down, there we are. I'm on a fixed camera situation, so we'll talk through some of the stuff. I'll lean the lid down so you can kind of see a little bit more. But the first bit that's really outstanding, to be straight up and honest with you guys about it, is that I got this case for $200. As I mentioned at the very beginning, it came with the padded inserts. They look pretty solid. I mean, there's nothing really magical about them. We'll see how they hold up to long-term abuse. But more importantly, I think paired with a gear package bag system like CRD bags or some other alternative, as I mentioned earlier, I think pulling these parts out where we need them, it might be nice to be able to just throw those bags in there with the extra padding. So the lid organizer here. So as you can see, the lid organizer here, beefy, great, awesome. It's got a weather sealing side of things. Let's look at the lid organizer a little bit closer. I don't do a lot of product reviews, so I can tell you I probably will not use these as well as some of you might. But the fact that it came with this lid organizer built into it, again, for that price point, super solid on our behalf. I can't imagine being able to build this out appropriately where I might actually figure out how to make this a hot and cold bag. We do that often with media because I'm very particular, and being able to not have to pull the camera body, but the cards are here, they're safe, whatever. This opening part, we switch back over. This opening part up here, there's enough room back behind it. It has a Velcro strap over the top. It has a little room and plenty of stuff back behind it to actually be able to go through and or slide in a laptop. That'd be a little sketch, but you could if you needed to, or maybe some other small materials, possibly even some gels type stuff. Nice in that way. But again, the bigger takeaway for me is the quality of this feels pretty solid. It feels a lot like those CRD bags. And so I can't imagine it mixing together. But again, for a $200 price point, that's great. Let's talk about some of the other stuff. As you can see, the hinges on the front side, they lock, clamp down. I did notice though, however, that if these close back down, they lock, which is both a good and bad thing. The issue I'd have with this on a film set, just so if anyone's been around a set, is you always want to check these. I guess it's a way to say that, but it also would make it very easy. Both of these were locked down like so, to think that you lock the lid, pick it up, and dump it out. So that'd be a complaint I see right from the get-go. It's not a slam on the build. It's just a slam on that side. I'm sure there's a reason that these lock down, but I don't particularly like it for that reason. I do like the satisfying clasp of being able to lock it down. I think it's great. Handle feels pretty good. I've had another offshoot brand of 1510 style, or 935 style, I guess in this case, of those Pelican styles. I broke this handle pretty quickly. It didn't hold up very well, but it did what it needed to do long enough period of time. It came with a strap. The strap actually has tie-off points onto the bottom here, and it grabs pretty good, and they feel pretty solid. I mean, the clamps themselves are nice ring clamps, as you can see, and it's relatively easy, even for an idiot like me, to put it back together. Let's look at the wheelbase on it. So this one does have skater wheels. I'll see how long they last. Typically, these wheels don't last very long for us because, again, we're not gentle. We put these cases through a lot of abuse, but we'll see how long they hold up. They look like they're better quality than something like a Pelican might have. But again, only time will tell. But in the beginning, they look pretty solid. The whole build of it feels very robust. Arguably, it feels maybe slightly tougher. It feels more rigid, more, it just feels stronger than a Pelican. Not necessarily an Air per se, because Air cases have their own sort of design, and they're lightweight because of the design of it. Basically, it's a honeycomb element, but these feel pretty solid, and we'll see how it holds up. The other side of things, front side, 2 handles. I've also broken off this handle off several cases. This one looks like it might hold up a little bit better. I appreciate the fact that it's articulated with that little snapback. It's a nice feature there. And then the release for it is a nice beefy stage. I've never really had any problems with these. I think Pelicans is the most simple yet efficient one. This feels a little bit more sturdy. Again, as I said a second ago, if I don't break it all, there we go. As I said a second ago, the entire case feels way more robusto than I had imagined it to be. And why is that important? Well, again, for us, it's not just about protecting your gear. It's being able to transport it in a way that makes sense. So even from a business standpoint, when cases like this go on sale, I'll pick up 1 or 2 of them. I should have bought another one, to be honest with you. But often we'll pick up these cases because we don't know. We have so many projects happening. So a lot of times, if I can build almost an entire kit for whether it's one of our videographers that's working with us, or if it's going out on loan, or if I can build almost an entire kit, send it to them, great. Also, we send cameras back and forth across the country, so it makes a lot of sense for us to have multiple of these. They do get beat up over time. This one will be a good test for that. We'll also see the airplane test side of things. I feel like it's a little bit bigger than a 1510 in terms of a little bit wider. And a 1510, I've flown all over the US with those. So we'll see how this one holds up and makes a difference across the board, and see how it plays out. Point being, when looking at gear and looking at investments into stuff, including protective gear, one of the things that matters to me the most is, will I get my money's worth out of it? And I will gladly tell you guys the straight up truth, because it's one thing to get a good product. It's another thing to make sure you get your money's worth out of it. And so we'll look at, like I said, we'll do a 3-month. If it's still holding up, we'll do a 6-month, and then possibly you can come back for a year, but I don't think anyone will care at that point. But for now, I can honestly say that if I were in the market for another case, which I'm always in the market for one, but if I were in the market for a case immediately, I would look at these. I did find them on Amazon for the same price as B&H's sale. So something to put out there. I don't know if it's a temporary thing or not. I'll post a link down below if you want to pick it up. Of course, you buy an affiliate link, it helps us. Yay, everybody wins. If not, head over to B&H and see what they have, or just wherever you search for it. But this build out with the lid organizer and then the insert was directly from B&H. And again, the color blue kind of pops. It fits our craft show color scheme. That's going to do it for this little review, if you want to call it that, whatever this piece of content is. Again, this is on the Nanuk 935. Fantastic buy. Feels like it's going to hold up pretty well. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for hanging out.